Hi, I'm Nicole Elissa, and today I'm going to share with you why putting our focus of being the hottest, the most attractive woman in the room is not the right focus in order to receive love, to receive attention, affection, and it's just not the right focus if you want to manifest love. It's not. It's a byproduct, like it will be a byproduct of you feeling hot, you feeling attractive, and actually not even caring if men are noticing you or not. That level of confidence is what's really attractive as an overall goal in general, because it helps us in our feminine energy how to truly be, confident. Because if we are basing our confidence in a man liking us, in a man seeing us, or in people seeing us, or in a mass of people seeing us, there are some elements in the background that actually indicate there could be some insecurities that we need to address. I am Nicole Elissa. I am a love coach and an intuitive, professional love coach and intuitive that I've been doing this work for 8 to 9 years, okay, professionally. And I've been working with women, high achieving women, top performers, leaders in their industry for so long. And I can share with you what I have been seeing and what I've been studying. This is going to be a really important video. I recommend that you watch it until the very end. Please do not, skip on this video, because it's actually, I've been, even though I've been doing this for 9 years now, for the last 5 years, I've been really diving in deep into the shadow, the unconscious of the feminine. How many of you have taken a program on how to be the hottest woman in the room, how to be the most attractive, and you feel like it wasn't effective? How many of you have consumed so many videos on how to get his attention, get his, like have him look at you, keep his attention? Everything is all about the man, and, but you realize that something was missing. See, inherently, the feminine energy, it's all about us knowing our worth and feeling good. But more importantly, it's about feeling safe in our bodies to receive. So you can be taking courses on how to be the hottest woman and the most attractive woman in the room. But then these programs, even though they're great, I'm not comparing, I'm not judging, I'm trying to add to the picture of what is missing and what might not totally click and work from those programs for you. It works for some women, but it's not working for others. And if you find yourself in the middle of that, or if you find yourself in a limbo, feeling confused, or just feel like those programs are not working for you, what's really happening underneath the surface is that you are not feeling safe to receive attention. You are not feeling safe to receive love. You're not feeling safe because it's not maybe normal for you. And what happens is that a lot of these programs address these concepts at a mental level or at a sexual level. You take courses, I'm hearing like yoni, eggs. You do a lot of stuff with sexual energy. But the feminine energy is not just sexual energy. And there's been so many years of women constantly needing to use their sexual energy to keep and to grab a man. And the energy from that, as in the goddess consciousness that I want you to, the goddess collective that I want you to really pay attention to, is that it can come from a place of lack. You haven't addressed at a subconscious or at an emotional level, at a nervous system level, I'm hearing your attachments or your fear of abandonment. So you are a hot woman. You are a desirable woman. For me, every woman on the planet is beautiful. But there's so much underneath that in the consciousness. And before you think, well, how does this reflect to me? It really does, because I want you to understand that in order for these things to work, you need to feel safe, but you also don't need to be the hottest woman in the room. Okay? You don't need that. What you really need is confidence, that even when somebody is not looking at you, your attention is like your sense of self is not what's the word that I'm looking for? It's not yo-yoing. That's not the word that I was looking for. We as a collective and as women and goddesses, we need to feel good about ourselves and not derive our sense of worth based on whether a man notices us or not. And that can be a hard pill to swallow because we all see and hear how men, what they love is confidence, right? But it's not that we build confidence for men, we build confidence for ourselves. I always say this with my friends. It's like, if I don't really think women dress for men, because if we were really dressing for men, like, women would just like be walking like almost naked. I always used to say that as a joke. We need to build confidence. It's part of what's happening is here is that we need to address the safety piece. We need to feel good about ourselves and not adhere or work to men. And you would be surprised at how often this happens. It's actually something that we need to study, dissect, like go very deep with this. Because yes, the ultimate goal is confidence, but not for men, but for ourselves. Because that confidence where yes, you need your man, but you also don't need, and you know who you are, and you're not willing to play games with a man, you're not creating an unbalanced dynamic of you needing him to see you. Because the desire to be the hottest woman in the room can come from, hello there, I hope that this is resonating. And let me know if it's resonating. If you have any questions, that would make me really happy to support you. The desire to be the hottest woman in the room can come from a place of inadequacy, from not feeling good enough. Do you understand that whether you are the woman that's in the spotlight or you are the woman that's in the background, you could both be the same person? Do you know how difficult it is for a woman that's on the spotlight, and how many times I'm hearing a woman can degrade herself or be in a space of competition when she's already in the spotlight because she feels that she needs to keep the attention? I'm hearing, as a consciousness of the feminine, we need to stop fighting for attention, because you could disown that energy and just go into the shadows and just feel like you're not or like you don't want to be in the limelight because it stresses you out, because you could be feeling on the other side of it like inadequate because men have told you that you are inadequate or not enough for their eyesight. And it's very interesting because it reminds me of, I don't want to be kind of spacey, dude. Please be mind, like, take it easy on me today, because I'm connecting with some energies. I'm connecting with my creativity and the messages that I'm picking up intuitively. And sometimes it's like it comes and it just goes. The thing is, I've always been very passionate about feminine energy and about women being confident. And I remember vividly how when I was younger, I was in third grade, I was 8 or 7 years old, one or the other. And the game that we were playing in the school was pageant, like contest. I don't know how to say that word in English properly. And we had to kind of just place ourselves in front of men and just say, like, men had to choose us. And I remember I did not like that at all, but I felt peer pressure. Like, it was so much pressure to just be in the role of being pleasing to a man. I remember how they would do TV shows based off on what men like, and men criticizing women from the head to the toes, criticizing women to the toes. Like, if you do not have your nails painted, it must mean that you're not that attractive, or you're not that hygienic. It was very interesting, some of the things that I grew up seeing. So what is the best way to get rid of low self-esteem? Doing clearing work, the work that I do. You can do tapping, but let me know the type of work that you've already done, because you're hitting the nail on the spot. Like, sometimes this need to be the hottest woman in the room is a lack of addressing this low self-esteem that's coming from within. The desire to be the hottest woman in the room, and even the woman who's like, I don't need to be the hottest woman in the room. What we're looking for is, because it's two sides of the same coin, it's a form of actually helping you feel safe receiving love. We are the attractors. When you reprogram your energy to feel safe receiving love, and you work on I'm hearing your attachment, whether it's your anxious attachment style, or you're avoidant, or you're anxious avoidant, or you're ambivalent, or you are disorganized. We really need to address this at a nervous system level, at an emotional level, and sometimes it's at a subconscious level. And this doesn't need to take you 5 years of constantly talking about it. It's about helping you feel safe, receiving love, receiving attention, and also feeling safe when you're not getting it. This will help you. I'm hearing this will make you more secure in your attachment style because look, I've been doing this for so many years and I've dedicated over 22,000 hours of study and helping clients. And this is part of what the reason why this happens is because we haven't been taught from a very beginning in our feminine energy to feel good enough as we are. Years ago, there used to be, so many videos on how to be the hottest woman in the room. Those are the easiest programs to sell, to offer. And they will give you tips, they will give you tricks, they will give you things that will help you boost your confidence. Yes. But what's happening is that if those programs are not working for you, is that you probably grew up in an environment where you felt really unsafe, really unseen, and you need, I'm hearing like an extra TLC. So there's nothing with those programs except the programs that are trying to help you trick people. I'm not in that space. I'm saying the thing is that sometimes you do these programs and you think this is something that I want you to see from my angle, from what I see. Because one of the messages that I got from the Angels of Love at the beginning of the year was, and I'm apologize for the noise because I don't know what they're doing outside. I got at the beginning of the year, the feminine consciousness, the feminine collective needs a broader perspective. We need to see things from a wider lens. And we sometimes see things through the lens of our own rejection. We see things through the lens of a self-esteem or a lack of self-esteem. We see things from immediately we take things personal. We see things not working. We assume that there's something wrong with us. We assume that things are not going to work out. We see things from a narrow lens. And I want you to really ask yourself, am I seeing things from a narrow lens? So I'm going to give you some examples. And one of the things that are going to really help us is we need to understand that this is something that's deep in my heart, deep, deep, deep in my heart that I need to share with you. I firmly believe that as a world, in the world, we need to study more. We need to have a happy stance on learning. So hear me out. A happy stance on learning. When we think about learning, we think about school, we think about college, we think about degrees, we think about everything that can get you more money, okay? But then the learning stops there. And then when it comes to us learning about loving ourselves, about accepting love, we're either just kind of winging it, going based off of what we know. And many times the thing that can be leading our learning is our ego, okay? So like I said, stay with me here because this is important. What happens if our ego feels invisible? What happens if our ego feels ignored? It's more like we create an identity based off of experiences and assumptions and what our brain experienced and is projecting it into the future. And we assume a lot of things, but we don't have courses like we do. But you know what I mean? We need to have a happy stance on learning, creating a grateful attitude around learning. And I'm going to say, frankly, what happens is that when we are studying love, when we're learning about love, what gets activated for a lot of women is the lack of self-esteem. You could be a very confident woman. Please don't get me wrong. I'm talking to women, that are CEOs, artists, entrepreneurs, etc. We are really confident. All that I'm saying is that we all have a place or an area where we're not that confident. It doesn't matter if you're making 7 figures, 6 figures, 8 figures. I don't know how much money we've been making, but we all have an area where we can grow in confidence. So the difference between the collective of the feminine versus men when it comes to learning that I've personally seen is that there's been so much shaming on the consciousness of the feminine where it erodes our sense of self that we don't feel safe being who we are or who we need to be, or who we are already. We don't feel safe. We haven't been told that we are good enough as we are. What happens though to the consciousness of the feminine, specifically, even with feminism, and this is something that I feel like feminism, at least in previous years, has been teaching women that they have to be perfect rather to be loved or to achieve things, and the sense of you have to be perfect, you have to be more, but we're not teaching girls or women that we are enough. So one of the things that I've noticed is that in the consciousness and the collective of the feminine, there's this energy of I have to be perfect or things have to be perfect. And it's such an unconscious thing that when we are choosing to learn about love, and I'm going to be honest and I'm going to be very blunt, I'm noticing that when I start saying these things, people leave. And I'm going to be honest, like these are the things that I'm noticing that's affecting our learning and our growth, because society and what I'm noticing even with these short videos, it's affecting our learning. Actually, one of the things that I'm picking up intuitively as an intuitive is that it's creating a lot more depression, because it's just creating this hit of I want what I want it now, and if I'm not getting it, I get depressed, I get put off, and I just leave, and it's not helping us in our critical thinking and our processing. So I'm really sorry for the noise. Anyways, I think it's perfect because it has to do with this energy of being perfect. So what I notice is that this energy of having to be perfect or things need to be perfect in the feminine collective, what's happening is that we are um, not feeling, we don't feel safe in our identity. We feel like we have to put up an image, we have to be a certain way to be loved. So when it comes to identity and in our, it's an unconscious energy. So when we are learning, what I notice over time is that women get really annoyed, and this is why we want to activate happy learning, grateful learning, at peace learning, because it's affecting us. When we were kids and we needed to learn how to tie our shoes, we weren't like, throwing a tantrum about learning how to tie your shoes for months and in years. I want you to understand that that part of you that's criticizing, upset that you have to learn about love, or that you want the learning to be about love, to be perfect, to be immediate, to just work for you immediately, it's a part of you that felt unsafe. So what happens is that this is women versus men in a way, because I don't see men having this angst about learning in the way that the feminine has, because what's happening is that there's a lot of repressed unconscious emotions in regards to the feminine. I'm saying it's different tones on how it shows up. So, because we've been told for so many years to depend our identity on men, I'm hearing we've been told that we just need to look nice. I'm saying we've been told that we are an accessory. You've been told to deny, shame, wrong your feminine energy, and sometimes, and then it's like a disowning of your essence of who you are. And that's why some women who are high achievers just disconnect from all of that. But then when it comes to learning, there's a block there. Okay, you understand maybe that being the hottest woman is in the room is not what you need to do, but there's a block there. There's anger, there's rage, because you do not want to be seen as an accessory. But this is the thing, it's still affecting your learning because you shut down from learning about love. You are right. It's not about being the hottest woman in the room. It's not about, like, even when I've done like work around this, anybody who's worked with me knows that what I teach is self-love, and I put my energy and my intention to help you feel good about yourself, because there's this uneasiness that runs in the feminine collective, because on one end you are aware that they have been making us feel bad about ourselves, but the answer to all of it is to feel good about who you are. That quiet confidence is what attracts love. I'm hearing you don't want to be in a competition race to win the attention of men. And the short, or like the narrow vision, is that sometimes, and I'm saying this with love because this is a message from the angels, I'm not criticizing you. We all have some of this, okay? We see men just noticing this type of women, and that can make you angry, that can make you feel that down, that can make you feel sad, that can make you feel depressed, that can make you feel really low or just shut down, or I'm hearing curse men or curse the type of women. That's a narrow, we need to see this. This is narrow thinking. We need to expand it. We need to practice this. Okay. I've said this to my clients. There's a lot that you can really learn if you are the woman that's not being noticed. There's a lot that you can learn if you do not create a narrative in that moment that separates you from getting the love that you want. If you make it be like, well, men just like women like her, you are creating a distance between what you want to attract and wronging it. You can observe, yes, there's men out there who only just want the most popular women out there. Yes, you can observe that, but that doesn't the issue is when you separate yourself from what you desire to manifest. Okay, when and you have the power to do this. You have the power to do this because you start building up a narrative. Yes, there's a lot of men out there who just want to be with the most deemed desirable woman in that opportunity, but that doesn't mean that you cannot attract love or that you're not going to. What's affecting is the narratives you've built over time in your energy, where you are expecting to be rejected, where you are expecting to be let down, where you are expecting things not to work out. And you could be having this energy since you were a kid or a toddler, because we've been taught that from a very early age. So the things that are really could really work for you is doing clearing work. And you can set up an assessment call with me, definitely, because I can help you on helping you feel safe. Who am I to speak about this? I used to like a guy when I had my first kids when I was 23. Let's start with that. Okay. I was criticized from my head to my toes from my mom, my dad, my parents, my family members, men that I liked. I used to attract men who felt like they were above me, men who were extremely cocky, who were like, well, why would I want to be with her kind of thing. And it was very bizarre. See, I realized that a lot of people they can be very insecure, but then they need to make themselves look better and they need to put down people. So the whole happy learning concept here is important because this is, if you are, I'm hearing, seeing or tainting your learning through a lens of competition, um through a lens of feeling like things are not going to work, that is really a cry for love. If you've done programs that you feel haven't worked, I promise you, if they're not scarcity based, if they're not teaching you how to manipulate people, then I promise you that they do work. There's elements in them that do work for you. It's just that you're not feeling safe to attract it yet. And that's why I talk so much on energy clearing work, and subconscious reprogramming, on nervous system reprogramming, because the feminine needs to feel safe no matter what. Whether people notice her, whether people don't notice her, women need to know their worth across the globe, and it cannot be tied and putting a man on a pedestal. You need to be on your pedestal. You need to feel good enough. I'm here. You're not in, like, it's not that you are like a woman that's on in Spanish is vitrina, like when you go to a store and you see this, maniquí, like with the clothes there. No, you need to feel that. And that's been the number one message that the angels have. The first message that the angels gave to me, they said, Nicole, do you know what's the difference between having confidence and not having confidence? And they told me, when you have confidence, you don't care what people think. But when you don't have confidence, you're caring about what people think about you. And we give so much of our power to men. If you want to attract love, if you want to attract a man that really loves you, you have to take that power and give it back to yourself. And you want to feel safe to receive love, and that your world is not falling apart if a man doesn't like you. Our nervous system needs, and to answer the question around how do we deal with low self-esteem, our nervous system needs to feel okay experiencing rejection, someone not liking us, even without putting them down. You don't need to put down immediately. That's a narrow vision that the angels are bringing up. As soon as somebody doesn't like you, etc., as soon as you encounter a man on the internet who just wants sex, you shut down. We are so used to internalizing everything about ourselves, about our worth. We internalize every point of interaction. A man is not interested or doesn't respond over text. You don't want to respond. Like, one of the things that's so triggering about online dating is that it makes you feel out of control, out of your power, because you are internalizing when something doesn't work out with a man. It can be so stressful for you because you start internalizing everything, and you cannot attract more in your life if you are internalizing and personalizing everything to make it mean something about you that's negative, or internalizing everything that's happening with men online or in these apps as negative. We need to have an internal capacity to experience things without making it personal. And it's about building your internal capacity versus trying to control, or you nitpick because you're feeling unsafe. What are those characteristics and ways in which we behave when we feel unsafe? As women, when we feel unsafe, we can criticize. We criticize and we want everything to be perfect. Going back to what I was talking to you before, you criticize. It's like it should be this way. It should be this way. Dating should be this way. All of these should. It should be this way. It should be this way. It's not a form of you being really connected to the awareness that you are manifesting. It's actually triggering you, it's making you feel a little bit powerless when you are shooting this way or not even trying because things you feel like they're not the way that you want it to. When your nervous system is more at peace and it's not fearing things, okay, you attract more of what you want. The thing is that when you get so triggered, when people are not behaving or showing up the way that you want to, you can either shut down, you become depressed, you don't want to date again, but that's months, that you stop dating. But you don't realize that in reality, what you were doing in your energy was control, not confidence. Okay. And then we go out there and we don't want to deal with things, how things are. Manifesting for the feminine, it's not this is how things are. No, it's what's happening on the inside. This is why some women, it's easy for them to attract love because they're not internalizing things really and truly, in that way, or they know how to shrug it off, but their energies are more used to an energy of receiving love. This is why sometimes for these women, like things just work because their energies accept an energy of love running within them. If this is not you, then it's not something for you to shame yourself. It's not something for you to blame yourself. It's something for you to nurture yourself. You have no idea how much time I've spent helping women really, and this is one of my main messages. You don't have to be perfect. Like so many of the desire that I see in my clients or people that I start working with, at least not so much now, but in the past, was I need to be sexy. I want to feel sexy. I want to feel sexy. I need to feel this way. Why? Because it was an anxious attachment or an ambivalent attachment or stressed out attachment dealing with a fear of abandonment. What we needed to work on was the fear of abandonment, loosening the fear of abandonment, actually knowing how to let your nervous system release that energy of fear of rejection. Guess what? You start feeling sexier. You start feeling better because you were able to address it. And it's not something that you had to talk about for years. It's an energy and it's a reprogramming, it's subconscious and nervous system reprogramming where your body is letting go of the stress of that fear of abandonment. Imagine if you didn't have to talk about your attachment styles for years on end and you just were able to reach to a more secure place like this. And like I said, it really depends on people because I've worked with people who have PTSD. I've worked with people who've had anxiety, different things. And it could take you 6 months of doing this work or 6 sessions. I don't know, I keep getting the number 6 for whoever this resonates. Or it could take you a year and a half. It could take you 2 years. But this is the expanded vision that the angels want to bring up for you. Because if you do a program, this energy of perfection, you could be bringing to the program. I need this program to fix this for me now. These 3 sessions now, all of it now. And if it doesn't work for me now, it must mean that it's not going to work for me. Love is not going to work for me. I'm so angry. I'm exaggerating some of the emotions that come up that I notice that women have. They just want to pressure. They want to control. They want to pack everything happening now. Is that how you treat yourself? Is that how you expect to be treated? This pressure to be perfect, this pressure that things need to be perfect. In order for you to build your intuition, in order for you to try, love is not a linear thing. Well, in the sense that love is not like a 1, 2, 3 steps thing. No, you got to be kind. You got to be humble. You got to release judgment. You got to be nurturing with yourself. So, as your nervous system is letting go of these fears, I want you to understand that wronging, shaming, pressuring yourself to get there could come from, this need to be perfect. It could come from unconscious misogyny that you might have learned, internalized misogyny of a need to be perfect, a need to be desired. Imagine what would happen if you were to clear the need to be desired. I promise you this, you will actually be more desirable, because your energy would be like, I don't care if you like me or not. We as women, we need to have a freer energy to manifest, not a boxed in energy of who we need to be. So whether you have gone into the route of I have to be perfect, more of like the anxious attachment, or you've gone more into the avoidant or the disorganized attachment, where you're like, I don't care, I don't want to be pressured. Both energies would benefit from feeling safe, regulating themselves to feel safe to receive love, you know, and I'm here not pressuring themselves to the end, you know what I mean? It's a matter of learning actually to flow, to enjoy yourself, because these energies of pressure, shame, I have to be this way, actually, and suck the fun out of your life. I suck the fun out of you because you're not feeling good. And what makes a woman irresistible is her light, her life, her zest, her passion. She's not controlled, she's not caged. She's who she is, but she's not, she doesn't, how do I say this? She doesn't have this seeping anger on that dominates her. Yes, it's good to be angry and to process your anger, but if that anger is stopping you from living your life, from attracting and manifesting, there's something that you're doing. And in regards to love, manifesting love, there's something that you're doing. If you really want love, okay, but there's anger that's blocking you, there's something that you need to learn in a different way. There's something that you're missing, something that needs to click. Because what's underneath that layer of anger, or layers of anger, I'm getting at least 3 layers of anger. There could be some things, that yes, they're justifiably wrong. People have done wrong things, but there's something where you could be blocking yourself from receiving love. And I promise you, even though I'm hearing there's assholes in the world, people who are just unconscious, there's people that are good. And if you want love, there could be a way in which that anger is blocking you. Anyways, I hope that this is resonating for you. Let me know if you have any questions, if you want to work with me privately. There's a link below, in the summary of this video and in the comments section, where you can set up an assessment call to work with me privately. Also, I've been doing some clearing group calls. So if you're interested, do let me know. Set up the assessment call. And I would love to work with you privately. I currently have space for 2 of my VIP programs where I do coaching and I help you reprogram your nervous system. And I promise to you that I'm an ally. I've had to study the shadow of the feminine for so long because I see it. Criticizing doesn't help us manifest and attract. It just says that we are wanting things to be perfect. There's a need to control, but that's not manifesting either. And it could create a narrow vision on things or an entitlement. And you could be missing out on the message that, God, love, your angels, the universe, your ascended masters, really want to help you grow. And there's something spiritual about this. When you reduce the anger, you can hear things more clearly. You could be missing out on cues that the universe is giving you to help you move forward and love yourself. Because this is the thing about the happy learning. Once again, you're so angry that when somebody offers you an opportunity, you're so angry because you feel like things should be a way, and you don't show up for it, and you're missing out. You're missing out. There's something powerful to receive and to manifest when you're a happy learner or a gracious learner or a grateful learner. Because of what I was sharing at the beginning, the way in which, we want to understand this. Nobody taught us this. Okay, but you could put all of your energy in being angry and nobody taught you this, or you could do something for yourself, and learn it now. I've been in spaces like this where I've been hungry to learn and I've been able to manifest what I wanted. And I always prefer to be hungry to learn than to be in an entitled space or shut down space. But if you are, and I've been in the other end and angle too, I've been on both. But I can access, and that's what I want to offer you, the awareness of, hey, when you're so angry, ask yourself this. Am I getting in the way? Is my ego getting in the way? Am I wronging things? Am I feeling like things are unfair? What would be available for you if you were to grow, if you were to learn past your comfort zone? What is available for you on the other end? Because this impacts our feminine energy. This energy doesn't show up the same in the same tone for men. But when you're angry about learning, you're sabotaging yourself. I understand that sometimes you've gone through different programs and you feel like, well, that program didn't work. And what really helped me understand was a message that a coach gave me once. And this is why we have to be open for learning, because I was open to the message that she gave me, and that helped me calm down. And when it helped me calm down, it helped me to receive more. She said, Nicole, I promise you that they all worked, that they all taught you beautiful and amazing things that you will be able to use when the moment calls for it. But I was having a narrow vision because I was so immersed in this energy of I have to be perfect, things have to be perfect, that was taught by a previous generation of women in my family, that or even like this energy of like the misogyny, that I couldn't see it. But I heard what she had to say. She said, it will work, it will come to you. But this energy of pressuring myself that it all needed to work and it all needed to be perfect didn't help me see that. So sometimes you go to a program and you think that was a loss, that was a waste of my money, I don't want to do this again. All these coaches are crooks, all of these people are this. Narrow vision. You encounter bad people. Or the program does work, one or the other, or two options are totally valid. But then when, like, you could be praying, you can be asking God for help, you can be, and then somebody comes in, and then this memory, the ego is like, but this happened in the past, I'm not going to trust again, I'm not going to trust people. How are you going to attract like more of what you want, receive more, if you're shutting down like that? I remember I had an experience where, yes, I was around a lot of people who just wanted maybe my money, but there were also things that I learned there. Both things can be true at the same time. And then when somebody came in that was going to help me, I was so shut down. As soon as he offered me something, I was like, no. And it took me a year. I spent that year horribly, but I was completely shut down. And I actually reached out to the person because the angels kept showing me the name of the person consistently over and over until it clicked. And I reached out to the person and things started to flow. I needed to trust people again. But those experiences that I had in the past, they were not bad. They were not bad. Like, I learned something from it. And if I were to look at it now, today, I could still learn something positive. Because what I'm learning, if all that you're learning is quote unquote negative, that can help you shut down too. But the thing is, we got to trust God is sending us the right help, the right support, everything that we need. But emotions like anger, emotions of like perfect, like being perfect, all of that can cloud our judgment. So keep an expanded vision is what I have for you. Trust yourself. Ask God to bring you the right people that are going to help you. Don't forget to always ask, because it's free will. And know that people are helping you, but sometimes the help might stretch you. It might help you evolve and grow. Sometimes the help might be different. Sometimes the help might be just different than what you expect. But be mindful, in your awareness, if you are downgrading it, remember, it could be previous misogyny, because part of the misogyny is hatred towards the feminine and downgrading us and downgrading others. And we don't need to downgrade other people around us. You don't want to downgrade the information that's coming into you. You want to be able to grow with it. There's something there. And if you feel like, "Oh, I already know this," no, you do not if you're not getting the results that you want. There's always something there where we can grow more in love without needing to put down what we've learned, without needing to put down ourselves, without needing to put down others. We are enough. And the more we can learn to appreciate and value the information that we are receiving, the more we can learn to apply it. The more we can be grateful for new awareness that's coming in. All of these, like the attitudes plus whether it's the subconscious reprogramming or the nervous reprogramming, will only help us grow as a society and evolve in our feminine consciousness. Part of the feminine consciousness and the ego of the feminine consciousness is that we can victimize ourselves and just see things as black and white, wrong or bad. You should be this way, or should be this way. That's not real. Just focusing, like we can point out what's wrong, but we also need to feel capable of attracting and manifesting at the same time. And if pointing out what's wrong makes us feel like we do not have any power or we do not have any chance of attracting love or whatever, there's something that we can evaluate here. Okay? Because we can never give our power to a society structure, whether that's men, whether that's other women. We cannot give our power so much that we feel like we cannot attract what we want. We can always attract and we can always figure out a creative way to attract what we want, to feel good about ourselves. But we stay so focused on who or what is doing something wrong because we're so used to from, caveman days to just put all of the expectations on somebody else that we don't realize that we have power too. And that's why I say to people, when I work with my clients, I work with you as an equal, because and the environments that we go to, it's like, oh, it's the teacher's fault. It's somebody else's. This. No, you need to access your power from within. But when you're accessing your power from within, you don't need to put people down because it's part of the unconscious misogyny that we've been living on. And it blocks your learning and it blocks your receiving if you're constantly needing to put people down. Sometimes you're putting people down because you are not feeling safe and you're not feeling powerful, but there's other angles of this. So I'm not totally going to go here too, but that's part of the energy of feeling safe. It's not necessarily needing to control the environment. Yes, there's dangers in the environment, but I want you to feel safe first. And then you can communicate, but never, or like what's wrong, but never lose your sense of safety, never lose your sense of your power. So I hope that this resonates. I do have some time available if you want to connect with me this weekend. I have 2 spaces available for my most VIP program. And I tend to work with a select group of women, like 4 to 6, like top 6, like in a year, in these levers, because I can help you move forward. There's some things you might just need a tweaking, or I can help you reboot, like just change and feel safe on the inside. Like I said, I've been shamed and people have tried to take away my identity, my sense of self so many times. That's why I can speak to this, because I'm a resilient person and I'm like brave person. And I also know how to attract and manifest love, attract opportunities, attract peace, and not be so discouraged, by like, I want to help you not shut down your power because you're discouraged by what you're seeing. You have the power to attract no matter what, because you're a total goddess. We just need to learn with a happy attitude, a grateful attitude, and a surrendered attitude too, because there's things that we can learn that will help us not feel separate from the people and the opportunities that we really want. So this is a very long video. I hope it connected with you. I'm going to write the link here too if you want to connect with me this weekend. I have loved, connecting with you in this way. And I hope that this really resonates. We are powerful. We are really powerful. And the thing is that when you're a confident woman, you won't interact with people who are trying to put you down. You might be the person who's trying to put people down, but we can coexist in this world without needing to put each other down. And it's something that we do in our consciousness, sometimes in the feminine, and we need to look at it. It creates a sense I have to be better. I have to position myself in this way. And you cannot totally attract what you want when you are coming. There's this phrase that her consciousness precedes form. Who is it by? I think Michael Bernard Beckwith. If we are coming from a place of lack and survival, but we want to attract abundance and opulence, we want to really check where our come from is coming. like where we're coming from. We want to feel really good. We want to feel safe. And I love you. And I hope that you connected with this. You know, we don't have to be perfect. We're just going to be who we are. And that level of confidence can be triggered because then you grow more confident. You feel like you're losing more people, but no, you're not losing. I love this quote by Florence Scovel Shinn. There is no sense of loss in the divine mind. You're only gaining, and you're gaining peace. If you feel like you've been stuck as you're growing in confidence and you're losing more people, I can help you tweak that. Because there'd be my things that you might not see. And it's like that phrase is lonely at the top. Like I can help you. You know, you will attract what you want, but it starts with you having peace on the inside. So, like I said, I love you. I'm sending you much love. And if you want to work with me, there's a link there. And there's other videos that I've been doing about this too as well. I'm sending you much love. Take care.